Once every year, a bouquet of roses can be seen lying in an alley near the old movie theater. This is the location where the Park Road tragedy occurred, arguably one of the greatest murder mysteries in Gotham's history, and a tragedy that will never be forgotten. This is the story of Bruce Wayne. Welcome to Origin. It was a night of excitement and happiness for the Wayne family, as Thomas, Martha, and Bruce headed out to see a movie at the local theater. But as they were leaving, they were approached by a man with a gun, demanding Martha's pearl necklace. Martha freaked, and Thomas yelled to the man that he wouldn't let him touch her. But then, a loud bang came from the gun, and Thomas crashed to the floor. In just a few seconds, Bruce's life was changed forever. Not only did the man kill his father, but also his mother. The shock of the gunshot and seeing her husband lying dying on the concrete caused Martha to have a heart attack and soon die right beside her husband. After his parents were buried, he went to their graves alone and vowed that he would dedicate his life and his family's money to track down and find their killer. "18 years after the gruesome murder of Thomas and Martha Wayne, Bruce Wayne came back to Gotham. He used these 18 years to sharpen a certain set of skills in order to help track down and stop his parents' killer. He first learned the ins and outs of criminal investigation, soon mastering it. He then focused on his athleticism so that he could perform any kind of movement possible. Once he felt like he had mastered that as well, he knew there was one final thing that he needed. A disguise that would strike fear into everything that saw him. And at the very moment he was thinking of what it should be, a bat flew into his room. Thinking it was some sort of omen, Bruce knew what he had to do. So he crafted the perfect disguise, using the symbol of a bat, and choosing to go by the name Batman. It wasn't as easy to start out as he thought it would be. Bruce knew in order to find his parents' killer that he would have to clean through the streets of Gotham. So he started off with something easy. He went out to the rough part of town. While he was there, he ran into a pimp that was hurting one of his girls. Bruce thought this was the perfect time to strike. But when he went to defend her, the girl turned on him, stabbing him in the leg. That was when a young woman named Selena jumped down from the roof where she had seen the attack happen. She was coming to defend her friend, who she thought was being attacked. Somehow Bruce survived, but barely. Now beat up and bleeding badly, he made his way back home. It was then that he decided to start thinking about his attacks, rather than just sprint right in. He eventually got the hang of it. In a matter of weeks, the Batman was the most feared thing in Gotham, and it didn't take long for Bruce to get the attention of the Gotham police. They formed a special task force in order to try and hunt and arrest Batman. This is how the then Lieutenant Gordon first met Batman. While they were trying to hunt him down, Batman was also working on the corruption inside the Gotham Police Department, which just so happens Gordon was working on as well. And when they teamed up together and brought down the Commissioner, it turned into a perfect match. And from then on, Batman and the newly honored Commissioner would work hand in hand. We all know what happens next. Batman becomes the greatest detective of all time, and possibly the greatest hero. And if you were wondering, yes, he did get justice for his parents' killer in the end. Thank you guys so much for listening to Origin. This episode was written and narrated by me, Cameron Rainey. First, I want to say that these next few months are going to be very busy for me. So I'm moving this podcast back to a bi-weekly uploaded podcast. Not only will this give me more time to write out better stories, but it'll also allow me to work on other great Origin projects soon to come. Make sure you guys are following us on Instagram and Twitter at Origin_podcast and on Facebook.com/Origin Podcast, all one word. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.